rest by the fire, rest as the wind blows over the plain. I can hear you call my name. I can hear you call my name. I can hear you call my name. Come to the pasture, lie by the river. Come drink your fill and be well. Come to the table, cup runneth over. Come drink your fill and be well.
Hello, hello, hello. Are we live today? Let me listen to my ears so I can see that we have audio and the music is low. Yes, we are here and we have our chat engaged. I can turn that off for a minute so I can disable that. Welcome everybody to the chat. Welcome. Yeah. Okay, that's working. All right, so we are live. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We are live on the streams, and I just want you guys to know we've been playing around with our settings. I am excited today because this is, believe it or not, the fifth night in a row that we've gone live on both Twitch and YouTube. Now, we've had plenty of issues going through. I have no idea why that chat says that we are live on YouTube and Facebook. We are not live on Facebook. I've got to edit this Twitch notification. Let All right, let me see. Let me see. Can I don't know if I can edit this while we are live, but man, this is one of those things we are just grinding our way through. If you are on Twitch, thanks for jumping on. I can see your chat. I can see the chat from YouTube. I can see all of that. And we are doing what we can to do this. Do I need OBS? No, I'll put my chat right there. That's the Twitch chat, so I can see that. And we're moving along right there. You had only collabs yet. We're just starting out, guys. All right, let's see. If you're in the chats, go ahead and leave a comment in the chat for YouTube and Twitch, because we are live right now on those two platforms. We are going along, and we are in on the thing. I'm gonna try this. I have no idea. My brands got messed up, so I can't show you the brands that we are engaged in, but we've got a whole line of things. So if you want to see what brands we associate with, you can go to JAmemories.com/brands, and that will get you the location of all the brands that we have. And believe it or not, we actually are doing better. Now, one thing that I'm trying to figure out, I don't know why this is not working. I am trying to get my own .pro account to acknowledge the chat for YouTube and Twitch at the same time, and it's not. I don't know why. I don't have an answer. So obviously it's one of those more frustrating issues of why things are not working. I'm going to take a wide shot. I'm going to go over to the other computer. So I'm going to I'm going to go over to the other computer. I want to look at a layout here on my thing. Of course, I can't do that because I can't do that because of the fact that I'm playing the music through that computer. The joys of having multiple cameras that I can get in there. Where's shot one? Not quite close enough, but not quite. There you go. So let me see if I can figure out why my YouTube chat is not engaging on the chat for the page. I take it back. It's just delayed tremendously because I actually put the YouTube chat here. So it is working. Own.tv or own.pro is working. I am thrilled. I'm actually working on a few layouts, and this is what I'm looking at right now. I've got my OBS. I've got Actually, OBS is right here, which if I bring over here, you can see OBS. OBS is very complicated, has a lot of modules, but once you learn it, it's very easy. I'm actually live streaming from OBS simultaneously to YouTube and Twitch, and the chat's working on both screens. I am thrilled with it. We have our Bitfocus companion. You see all of our buttons here. I actually made a fun button today. I was actually testing a bunch of stuff out, and I was quite impressed with what I was able to accomplish through Bitfocus Companion. We've been talking about Bitfocus Companion for a little while, and believe it or not, it actually is better than what I thought it would be. So I have this button here, the A10 Mini, and up until this point, I was staunch on only using the A10 Mini for my live streams. But as you can see from this live stream layout, I can do so much more, more quicker with OBS. Now, a couple caveats to that fact. In order to use OBS, you do have to have a pretty powerful computer. And I just remembered something. Just so you know, I do this all the time. I jump on random rabbit trails, so please bear with me if I run across a rabbit trail and then get back to it. I never introduced myself. My name is John McLaughlin. I'm with JAmemories. I am the owner of JAmemories. You can catch all of our information at the website right there, JAmemories.com, and you will be able to get all the information you want. And if you're jumping in on YouTube, on Twitch, thanks for joining us. I do see the chat as it comes in. I can actually engage with the chat, and I'm going to try my best to engage with the audience as much as I can. If you're watching, thanks for hanging out. We're just hanging out, going over technology, going over things that we are doing here in our studio. One of the things that, if you have followed anything on my social media, followed me on YouTube, even on Facebook, you can find us on Facebook at JAmemories 2017, I think it is. The social should be listed in the chat. But one of the things I was preaching almost was the fact that up until this point, I was all about the A10 Minis and going live with A10 Minis. But I found a couple issues with that over the years. One being the fact that an A10 Mini can only stream to one platform. Now, most encoders, that is their design because they want to focus everything they have on that one stream. They want to make sure they have solid connection. They want to make sure that they have a solid integration. And then based on that, they are able to focus and get a clean feed. But that adds to the fact is, well, one, if you want a multi-stream, you got to do one of two things. One, you've got to upload it to a Caster.io or Restream or someone else who will then distribute that stream to multiple platforms. And for a lot of people, that works great because they don't have the bandwidth to do multiple streams out of their setup. We are blessed to have high bandwidth, and we have a great deal on our internet, and it provides me the opportunity to do multiple streams. I have done as much as two live streams at once. somewhere down the road, maybe in the next few weeks or maybe the next few months, I am going to plan on doing 3 streams. And we will do Twitch, YouTube, and I'll add Facebook to that stream and see if I have any problems with that. So I have these A10 minis sitting around in my house. I still want to use them, and the thing about OBS Studio is the fact that you've got to bring in your capture devices. You got to have your ways of bringing your camera in. You got to have a way to bring in the sources to OBS. One, USB is a great way to bring that in. Well, web cameras are good. Some broadcast cameras have USB out, but they don't have the best resolution. So what do? To get the best resolution, oftentimes you need HDMI. So then you're buying capture cards or capture devices. Blackmagic does make a great capture device for computers, and that's their whole DeckLink line of cards, and you can then plug that in and get that going to get multiple inputs onto your live stream. That is completely legit. But for me, I already had the ATEM, and with the latest version of ATEM software built onto what I already had, so I didn't have to buy any more equipment, they allowed us to change the output of the web camera, the USB port, to the computer. So I now have a hard drive so I can record all my inputs, and I have a way to then feed so I can output that feed to my computer and then ingest it as a capture device in OBS. And OBS has the capability of changing your capture devices and adding capture devices quite easily. You just simply create a new source and you say, let's do capture device. And then what we're gonna do, when you come here, you add your source, and then you can change, you go to video capture device. I already have 3 here, but if you had a different one, if you have a 4th or 5th, you can. I have my ATEM Mini I can add, and that's the output of that. And then if I wanted to add another capture device that I already connected, okay, so apparently my office light wants to turn on. Alexa, turn off this light off. I don't know what it is, but Alexa's been very slow in responding to my commands over the last couple of weeks. Alright, so we're going to add another connection, and then the other device. And that is, apparently that's the wrong one. I'm going to delete that. Add the other capture device, add existing. That's the web camera that I had before. Now put this layout here. And then if we wanted to add something else, we could add a scene, and let's add my open scene there. I want that behind everything, And there you go. I want to move the ATEM, move that up here. And now, if I wanted to, I could transition to the live, and I'm there. And I did all of that just in front of you guys. That's how intuitive and how quick OBS is. You can be as creative as you want. As you can see on the bars right below us, we are trying our best to get to the next level. So if you can, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube, hit that follow button on Twitch, and let's see if we can get to the next threshold. Now, I've got 10 here. The actual official link for Twitch is 50 users, but let's start small and go from there. So, you know, and this is what I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to have a way to create easy ways of using the ATEM. And you saw me do that just so I can take the ATEM's USB and I create the output. That's this feed right here. It's literally this feed right here. So when you're looking at my screens, this feed is the, I apologize, this is the feed that I'm talking about. That comes out of the ATEM. But I need a way to be able to change that transition from be able to select what I'm taking out. So what I ended up doing is I created the ATEM mini button. So for those that didn't see my other shows, I explained somewhat of my layout last week, and that was not last week, it was only yesterday or the day before. My layout is I use I use a stream deck to control my live streams. And the stream deck is built by Elgato, but I found that my ATEM and my OBS and my H2R graphics, I can't really control all of those devices with the Elgato Stream Deck software. So I don't use it. I use it with the Bitfocus Companion. Bitfocus Companion, believe it or not, actually works with hundreds of different products across a wide range of industries and a wide range of products and industries. So you're literally going down the line of figuring out what's the best way to encapsulate your tools and get it to work with what you want to do. And for me, Bitfocus Companion was the obvious answer. So we're here, we're sitting here now doing our live streams. And like I said, this is our 5th day live. That's one reason why my voice is kind of hurting, because I've been talking a lot. Because believe it or not, I actually work more in the behind the scenes than anything else. So what I ended up doing is I created a button on the Stream Deck on page 1 called ATEM Mini. And it sets the preview of OBS to the ATEM Mini feed. And then it also changes the surface, the control surface, to page 2, which is right here. And then I have my options of picking what I want. Now the reason I have the layout like this is these 3 sources up top are the ones primarily used right now. I've got the Sony camera. Actually, it's the PTZ camera. SE. I don't know why it was SC. It's actually SE2. I need to rename that in my software. And then I have the first computer, CPU, and then I have PlayStation. So in all of those are set to change the output of the web camera to their respective channels. And then, but here's the best part, it also transitions the OBS at the same time, and it changes the surface back to page 1. That's the power of OBS. You can literally stack your inputs and your controls so that you're not just doing one action each time you hit a button. You literally can push a button and then it runs through a stacked event. You can even put delays in, and I don't know where the delays are because I don't see the delay function. So I don't, rotary action, for those that don't know, are for when you have the Elgato Stream Deck Plus, which has the dials on it. I don't have any of those, so I can do that. I actually need to look into this and find out how to get durations on there, because it doesn't give me the durations. I have to look that up. That's something new. Below here, they used to have a little option to add time delay so that you can delay the functions and do a stacked in time sequence. I just realized that I'm on the most recent stable version, and I don't see that in here. Interesting. Collapse. Disable. I'm not seeing the option to delay and trigger my functions. I've got to literally update that. Okay, well, something new. Every day I learn something new. And this is the thing about a lot of the programs when you're dealing with OBS, when you're dealing with Bitfocus Companion, they are open source, and some people are literally getting the points of, figuring out a way to make those things. And one of the biggest challenges that anyone has when they have a software that they rely on is when there is an update, are you subjected to the limitations? I'm sorry, guys. This 5 days of live shows. This is a lot. So, excuse me. So our setup is not as it's a complex setup, but also has a lot of moving parts. I've mentioned it. Owned.pro is the layout wizard that we use. And own.pro is actually own3d.pro. Let me drop that in the chat so you guys can see it. And they have great products, great tools that allow you to get, all of their tools. I mean, own.pro is a great wizard on your layout. Here's the website. This is my own dashboard. I've got my scenes here that I do. I've got alert settings, event lists, and if you want to mess with your chat box, this is what you call a chat box. Over to the side, right over, somewhere over there. It's hard to do this when you're, but that box that says live chat, that is the chat. So when you comment, hi, hello, whatever, I'm gonna see it in different places. And when we went to the other scene, this right here, that's the chat bot. And every page is customizable. You literally can have a wide range of bots and chats and things like that create interaction with the channel so that you're able to do it. And I would encourage you, check out own.pro because they have a lot of products that do not cost you anything. They have scenes that you can use that are free. They have widgets that you can use that are free for every user. So you're literally not required to purchase a license. And it works natively in most applications. I'm bringing it into OBS. I could bring it into my ATEM through an external source and then key everything out. But the nice thing is you're literally able to create this thing. Let me go back to that screen. What you see right here, and these are blurred out, but this is your browser source for this particular scene, right? All you have to do is just copy that and bring it into wherever you are. Now, we also use H2R graphics. So the URL right here, this is your URL. You copy that URL and then you can bring it into H2R graphics, which we'll talk about just in a minute. Because having these tools, creating environments and creating live streams, that's what we're all about. This is what I do for all my clients. I help them out and build up their platform, and and I want people to succeed. Now, just like last night, the live chat is not working the way I would think. Okay, so let me show you this. Oh, you can see it already. It actually, own.pro says limited availability of YouTube chatbots. We're working on a solution due to high demands. Our YouTube chat is currently experiencing limited availability during weekends. Rest assured, we are actively collaborating since Monday, February 10th, 2025, with the YouTube API service team to resolve this issue and improve services. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Well, there you go. That's why YouTube chat is limited on now. Right now, there's not much chat going on, so I'm not actively worried about it. But I do have a way of bringing that chat in, and that's simply by doing this right here. I can bring the YouTube chat in, so if YouTube subscribers are talking, I can bring them in even though they're not on the live chat, and then bring it out. What you just saw, this is actually being done through our other graphics software, which is the same one that does my name, which right now is covering my video. I love when I do something and it just covers up what I'm doing. It's just part of what we're doing. But that's where you get your entire functionality. So yeah, I'm glad I got that. Now I'm gonna go over to timers. I don't have any timers, giveaways. I wonder if we could do a giveaway. No, okay, giveaways. So I'm gonna look at these because I may start doing giveaways. I don't have the knowledge right now to do giveaways. I'm gonna look at this, and you can customize the keyword and giveaway duration here. All right. No results from model API models keyword giveaway. So I need to figure out how. Let's start a giveaway. Let's see what that does. I have no idea what this does. Huh. Well, viewers can join the giveaway by typing keyword in the chat. You can specify the keyword in the field below. The other settings options relate to the length of the giveaway. Well, if you're in the chat and you type in the word join, you will be able to enter the giveaway. Huh. Let's try it out. If you're in the chat and you want to join the giveaway, type in join, and we will see if this actually is working. It's got 3 minutes to do it. Interesting. We'll go from there and see what happens. So if you're in the chat and you want to join in the giveaway, we'll go from there. And if we have no one join in, then we won't worry about it. But I'm going to look into this a little bit more because obviously I want to make sure it works. And I know what I'm doing. But this is owned, so this is the web version of owned.pro. Now I do have a pro license, which includes the epidemic sound, hence why the music in the background, you guys can hear the music. I am playing it through epidemic sound through my owned.pro license. And that allows me to have music in the background that I'm not worried about the monetization or copyright issues, because depending on the platform, on YouTube, if you get a copyright strike, it could hurt your live stream. Most of the time it doesn't, just means you can't monetize the stream that you're on. Other times, on Twitch, they actually will mute your stream during the copyrighted segments of your show. So you want to have some way of playing music that is royalty free, that is not going to hurt your live stream. And you want a way of creating a environment that fits your genre, which is why the music section, they have all kinds of genre here. They have all kinds. Let me make sure my music on this is turned down before I do anything. So the one that we're listening to right now is pop contemporary worship, contemporary Christian. You're actually listening to a shuffle version of this playlist, and we can stream this on our live streams. Anyone who has a paid license to own.pro plus Epidemic Sound can do this, and the prices are not that bad. I was looking at my bill last month, and I think I'm paying like $6 a month for all these tools. Now, you don't have to do that. You can use a bunch of stuff from own.pro without paying. The music is not included in the Own Pro license, but yeah, it's one of those things. You have to find something that fits, one, your budget, and two, fits into what you need. And you saw the genre layout. If I go to Discover, right, and I just hit Show All, this is all the genres that they carry. It's still loading, so give it a second. You can see all the different genres that they have in this Epidemic Sound library. Now, if you've ever heard of Epidemic Sound, this is different than going to Epidemic Sound and paying Epidemic for their library. This is a collaboration between own.pro and Epidemic Sound, giving you streaming rights to their library. If you go to Epidemic Sound, which I also recommend, if you go to Epidemic Sound, that gives you the ability to download that the same music or even more, and then figuring out, okay, I'm going to use this in my video pieces. It's not just for when I go live. It's also when I create commercials, or when I create full-length things like that. So obviously you want to pick what works best for you. Now, the nice thing about it, if you get the full Epidemic Sound license, you can live stream with that as well. It's not like you have to do both. This is just convenient. I don't have the finances. Epidemic Sound, the actual license from Epidemic Sound, is more expensive than what I'm paying right now for the streaming option. But the streaming option works for what I need and what I'm looking to do. So, and like I said, they have genres that cover a wide range of different genres. They've got praise and worship, they've got contemporary gospel, classics, waltz, strings, ensembles, solo instrumentals, contemporary folk, if that's what you're into. They've got jazz, tons of pop. They've got Euro, trance, experimental electronic, white noise. I have no idea why anyone would want to play white noise on their live stream, but I'm sure someone out there does. You can do that, and that's fine. And it's all covered under your license for own.pro with Epidemic Sound streaming. And this is what makes the use of these softwares so convenient. Now, the other one that we're going to talk about, the last one that we're going to talk about tonight, is H2R Graphics. If you've watched any of my live streams in the past, if you've come across anything that I have done, you know I use H2R Graphics. And we've brought H2R Graphics online numerous times, and we bring it up there all the time. H2R Graphics actually stands for Here to Record, and it's done by John Barker's John Barker at Here to Record. Let me see, Here to Record, I think it's .com. Yeah, HereToRecord.com. So let me drop that in the chat real quick. And and the reason I tell you guys all about these different tools that I use is because I do pay for these out of my own pocket. I do pay for the but the one key component about these is the fact that it is important to me to give back, because yeah, I am paying money for these people, but these people have spent years and months and sometimes even a decade creating tools that are beneficial to us. Now, John Barker, this is his website, and this picture is John Barker. I have talked with John Barker. I will email John Barker and I'll reach out to him and say, hey, here's an issue, blah, 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 what's your suggestion? And he'll be quick to come back and go, well, it's because of this, or I've come across that. There was one time he was promoting a way to bring chats in, and it was, he had a new program to bring in live chat and bring in lower thirds and create animated lower thirds. Now, my name is technically a animated lower third, but this is a native H2R graphic lower third. But he was wanting to create a way, he wanted more interaction with it and create more effects and, be like some of the bigger name graphic, lower third graphic people. And so what he did, he partnered up with a website and gave all the instructions and told us what to do. And when I did it, I'd have hit and miss issues. It would sometimes not work, other times it would just straight up break the feed, and I'd have to reset the entire feed, which sometimes was on a multi-layer that I had multiple things on. So, with that being said, I reached out to John, and he's like, okay, this is what's going on. Let me look into it. I haven't really seen it before, and and we worked through it. And I just reached out to him this last week about, because I'm using H2R graphics differently than I had in the past. I'm using it, in the past, I would actually output H2R graphics through HDMI off my laptop, off my computer. And because of that, I had a clean feed into my switcher. Well, now I'm using the web browser version, of it, to feed what I'm doing so that I can bring it into OBS, because I don't have a capture card that can take a dedicated feed and then feed that back to my live stream. So, and I was running into some slight issues with that. And I reached out to John. He was quick. John is in Europe somewhere, I believe Denmark, maybe somewhere around there. But so we're several hours apart. I mean, well over 10 hours difference between his time zone and my time zone. But, you know, when he got to the message, he got back to me, wrote what he did. I checked, and sure enough, that's exactly what the problem was. So I was able to fix the issue and know what was going on. So, with that being said, the other thing, this is H2R graphics. You know, H2R graphics allows me to integrate. Let's look at the interface, and I'll show you a couple of things that I'm able to do. So right here is the actual application. This is the web version of the application. This is the computer it's running on, the local IP address. And so you start out with a few buttons, and you have right here your control functions at the top. Right here is the local IP and the project name, the rundown, buttons, and social. So control room, if I open up control room, you see basically just a wide range. You have a preview right here, and you have all of your buttons for your rundown. Okay. Now, if you noticed, and you couldn't because I have this graphic on, it opened up a new tab. So I still have my dock, original dock, but now I have the control room. Rundown is a simpler version of that. It's basically just the buttons. So you don't get an actual output. If you notice over here on the control room, here's a preview of everything that goes on. So if I bring my brands in, you see now my brands are not working. I don't know why, but I have that set up. It's a website. I gotta go figure out where that is, but I might get into that today to figure that out, but I may not. But you also have name bar, which that's my old graphics for the JAmemories Tech-Talk. And then of course we have, and my wife's name, and this is the logo for Tech-Talk. So the nice thing about this is I could leave the logo up and then bring my lower third in and out, and it works. Though that's the nice thing about this. I actually like having this here. I forgot about these. These are awesome. Unfortunately, the bug right now is in view. So I'm actually gonna go and I'm gonna tweak. This is the nice thing, another nice thing about OBS. I now see something that I need to fix, so I can come over here. This is the scene I'm on. I'm going to tweak on my view. And how can I do this? It's H2R graphics, talking background. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to do this in the other screen. I think the best thing, the Valor, is to turn that off for now. But I'll mess with that. But you see the function of H2R graphics. And then you have a big timer. You can actually bring a big timer on the screen. And if we restart it, and then we actually start the timer, I now have a timer on there that says, okay, I need to get offline in an hour. Now, if I leave this timer up here, oh my gosh, I'll be talking for an hour, and I've already been talking for almost an hour. That's gonna be a long stream. That's gonna be a 2-hour stream. After live streaming all weekend and streaming last night and then tonight again, I don't know if I have the voice to live stream more. So I'm gonna turn that off, and maybe we can put that one on. That's a little bit less. But the nice thing is you have all these functions. Now, I do have to say, with H2R graphics, I am paying for the Pro version. So, you know, you are literally left to have your live streams, and you are sorry, I'm paying for H2R graphics. I bought the full license, but John Barker doesn't charge you a monthly fee. Now, if we go back to John Barker's page, you have all kinds of tools and instructions. He's very big on sharing content with you and sharing information with you. I would highly recommend going to his page and checking out his website, because that is going to help him out. And he has free equipment. He allows you to explore all of his apps. He even has more apps. Here's H2R graphics, H2R gear. This product right here, H2R gear, I'm actually going to do a full demo of H2R gear, because he actually has created a way to map out your entire setup. So if you have a complex setup like I did, and I showed you earlier my setup room. I don't know, let me zoom out. And you know, this is, you know, you're seeing a nice view before. This is the mess that I work in. And I'm sitting over here, but I've got a computer right there. I've got another computer right there, over here. And then I've got my setup over here that I'm doing all of this stuff. And that's the kind of thing that, you know, having all of that tied together, H2R gear is a way for you to map out your thing, so you can line out your ins and outs and figure out your signal paths. And I know, don't leave comments in my show about how bad my room looks. That's why I use tight shots, so you guys don't need to see all the mess that is my office. But, you know, H2R, you get the diagram, and here's the nice thing. Once you have your diagram, you can create a pack list, so you can make sure, and this is what he's done for us, and he's built this done. And it shows you all the ins and outs, and these are all of the equipments that he's built for the community to use, and the community has given him use of everything that you need. So it's amazing that first off, John's got all these things. Just looking at the price, you get 2 active plans and a community library for $0. Then personal, 10 active plans, community library, plan sharing, and export PNG, JPEG, and PDF. Now, if you want the patch list, zones, left to right modes, of course, that's there. And then small business, growth, team. And now here's the best part about what John did. And I talked to John about this and asked him about combining products, but he wanted to make sure, because there are different developers. Say you're an integrator like me, and you're building something out, and you need to have everything, and you just need a way to create, say, everything on the growth team. You know, you can do a one-time $12 fee, and you get a 10-day access. That gives you the ability to keep everything straight. And that's what's nice about John Barker staying up to speed with the team and staying up to speed on the equipment list that he does, because it allows him to focus on what is going on. Okay, so John's done that. You know, going back now on the other stuff, we've also got Rundown Studio. Rundown Studio is a production rundown tool for keeping your show on time. And I have not used this app, but it is one of those tools. It actually has time frames, and you can tell it what you want, where you're going, if you're going to a roll-in, how long that roll-in is, questions and answers, and again, pricing, not that expensive. John has made it so that you can actually get all of this. And if you have a major production and you need this on a regular basis, it's not that bad. You know, having the organization of being able to collaborate with team members, have events scheduled out, especially if you're on a time schedule. Me, this is my 5th day going live, and I have no schedule. I have a timer on the screen that says 7 minutes, but I'm not tied to that. If I go over 7 minutes, so be it. It's the only thing that's gonna hurt is my voice at the end of the day. But the nice thing about it is, if you have a time, then you can do the rundown. Production apps, the Dash Master. I actually looked at this. Dash Master is a way for you to build dashboards so that you can see. Right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 11 screens all working in my studio. And what that does, the Dash Master, is I'm able to take one monitor and throw up a bunch of stuff. You know, he's got a show of a time, he's got a YouTube channel, he's got other things, and they have pre-built templates. They've got, it works with YouTube, Twitch, Mentimeter, Stage Timer IO, which is the timer. You got companion options, H2R graphics. Of course, it works with H2R graphics because John Barker had a say in this. So again, he does charge, but 3 dashboards, 1 device, access to our free modules. And then if you want it, he's got a limited time. For $35 a year, you get 100 dashboards, 10 devices, access to all the modules, all layouts, hide dashboard header and footers, advanced sharing options. So again, if that's something you need, he's got the tools. H2R interactions, ask your audience questions. Now, these next two are phenomenal. So if you are one to use an A10 Mini, H2R layout is actually designed to work with the SuperSource on H2R on the A10 Minis. So this is a free app, and this is designed to work with the A10 software. It does work with vMix as well, but if you want, you can turn out the 4 boxes, which the SuperSource does. You create your layout. Okay, this is very rough. Don't shoot me in the foot for getting it all messed up. Okay, and then once you have your layout set and you're ready to bring that in, and you want this to be your layout for the A10 SuperSource, he actually gives you the code down here, so that you can copy this into your macro and literally create a button on your A10 that you can push and bring this basic layout, camera 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, it doesn't tell you what the camera is. Now, the nice thing is, actually, I take that back. He actually does have all the inputs. You can tell it what you want the inputs to be. And I don't know why I have 5 in the same one, but, and then it's already there. It literally updates the macro to be there. You copy it, bring it into the A10 Mini, and you're done. And he's got the companion page for it to create the box for it, so that you're setting there. I have used this to create custom SuperSources in my stream so that I can literally have a layout of a perfect layout, and it works great. This is a free app on the web that will do that. Another free one is the stingers, and this is again to work with the A10 Minis, and then the thing about it is, here's where it comes in. So when you're creating a macro or a stinger, you're using multiple steps to do that transition. And this is what it does. And you're basically switching from one to the other, one source to the other. And then once you do that, once you set up what you want, and then you hit download, it will then download all the pieces. You input that into the A10 and you're ready to go. So it's nice. I have not looked into this to see if it will work in OBS, but it is there. Now you can get some of the packs, and he does charge you. It's $5 for the image pack if you want MP4s, or if you want WebM files, it does cost. But the nice thing about it is you can do some basic ones and download those stingers, and in that you get here's the macro for that, the macro pool, and then the 10 images that are included in that pack to make that stinger work. And all those pieces are crucial to making, oh, I hit that again, I don't want to do that, making the image work in that function. Okay? Now, do you have a use for it? I don't know. If you do, great. Check them out and go get yourself some stingers. And I think John is looking at making more. I haven't heard anything more about the if he's looking to do more. Well, my timer's up. It is after 9 o'clock my time, so I am going to wrap this up. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you jumped in on the stream, thank you for watching. If you are new to the channel, thank you. And we will catch you guys on the next live stream. Who knows? I might be live tomorrow. I may not. I don't know. So now I do have a couple things to let you all know about. Starting next week, one day next week, we will start our live Amazon shopping. I'm working on the layouts, I'm working on the templates for that. That will be a whole different template, simply because I want to be able to bring in content, show it on the screen, and talk about it on. And I'm going to do a couple of the products that I have gotten. Now, I will warn everybody, if you are watching and you're thinking, I'm all about technology, I'm all about all this stuff, the Amazon shopping will necessarily not be all technology. Okay? That doesn't mean that we won't cover technology, but it's not all going to be about technology. We will do live streams based on events that Amazon has. As an Amazon associate, all of the links in my descriptions, all the links that I share online from Amazon, they're all affiliate links. Clicking on them and buying something through them does help the channel out, and we greatly appreciate that. So when we do our live shows, that is where that is part of my associate. So I am going to work with my setups, get a new layout for my Amazon stuff, and I need to figure out how to consolidate my OBS scenes so that I can literally get going on that. All right. On that note, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for doing all of the for hanging out. I will catch you all later, and yeah, we will see you all the next time we go live on JAmemories Tech-Talk. Talk to you soon. Okay, so if you're still watching, I'm trying a few other buttons on my stream, so bear with me on this. I'm trying to figure out. Let me show you what I'm working on. Maybe someone in the chat can help me out with here. So I have this button that turns my mic on and off. And I want to, when I turn my mic on, I want it to mute the music, not mute the music, but bring the music down. And then I have another button here ending that turns my mic off, and I wanted to turn the music up. Turn the music back up, which that one does, but the problem I have with this one is this is a toggle on and off, and this toggle, so if I happen to have the music already low, it's gonna boost the music, and I don't know how I can set it to only no. Alright, I'm gonna try this real quick. I'm gonna try this. Okay. So yeah, it only, okay, it works. Can't hear me. Huh. Yeah, even if I hit the mic button, it's not going to change the value of the music any more than it already is. So if the music's already low, it's gonna stay low. Do I? Oh, I turn my speaker off here. Yeah. So, all right. So that works. And then if I hit the ending button, which I'm gonna hit, it's gonna change. It was a little abrupt. I thought I set this to 500. I'm gonna try again, guys. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, so yeah, because I don't like, I work in audio as well as video and lighting and all this other stuff. I don't like when the lighting changes or the audio changes or video transitions change. I don't like the hard cuts. Now, there are some of you out there who don't mind that. That's the social media way of doing things, and that's completely fine. I'm wanting to do that, so I need to also update my Be Right Back scene to include the bring the audio up to 0. We're going to fade it at 500 milliseconds. And so if I go to Be Right Back, I also am able to do that as well. And that's the nice thing about I can't speak enough about all of my tools that I use. I'm able to make changes really quick in the instant, and I love it. Thanks for hanging out with us. I promise this time we are ending, and we will see you guys next week on the live stream. So you all have a great great week. What this one?
There can't be no light if darkness don't exist. He never left my side. He showed me the way out of all the storms raging at the sea. He gave me back